All right, so I'm going to talk about some of the tackle that I typically take whenever I'm bass fishing. Smallmouth, largemouth, doesn't matter if they're bass. This is a pretty good starting point, I think, for the average Joe. So this is the pack that I carry everything in. It's a Magellan that I got from Academy. It's like a pack and 2 tackle boxes, which I've swapped out, but a pack and 2 tackle boxes for 30 bucks. So if you like traveling lightweight and just kind of going with the bare minimum, hard to beat right here. So we'll just kind of go front to back. So got my fishing pliers. These fishing pliers are probably, I don't know, at least 15 years old. I've had these for forever. They came from Bass Pro. Do a good job. One of the things I like about these pliers is a lot of them, I've noticed that they've taken out this spring and they put some kind of just wedge thing, and I don't like that as much. Really like these Bass Pro Shops ones with the spring in there. And then the next thing you can see that I've got is a scale. This is Berkeley scale. I think you can pick this up from Walmart in a kit. It comes with this and a tape measurer. The clip on it broke fairly soon, but I picked up one of these little Rapala. I think they call them like fish grips, whatever. So I put this on the scale. One, it's a nice bit of measure, but 2, if you ever get into a pike or, you know, something you don't want to put your thumb in, works pretty good. So always use this. You never know when you might pull out that next PB. I've also got this foldable net that I put on my pack. One of the things I'll typically do is it's got a little ring here. This came from Walmart. It just folds and extends. Is I'll put that like that. So if I'm going somewhere where I've got one pond I've got access to, the bank is very steep, and it's one of those ponds where every time you fish it, you can definitely pull out your PB. And so I carry this with me whenever I fish that spot. So super handy. This folds out, extends, got a little bit of a handle, just pulls back here, and you've got something to help you get a little bit of length. So I saw that and thought that that would be perfect for that pond I've got, and it's come in handy. So folds down, stays nice and compact. I've had it for like a year or 2. I have no complaints. In the front, I picked up these things. So I've started using braid for the first time in the last year or so, and I got this from Academy. It says H2O Express. I don't know if that's the brand or whatever, but it's some kind of tool made for braid. I guess that's for cleaning out birds' nests, but really love this for cutting all my line. And I put one of these keepers on it, so it's super handy. Break off, have to retie, whatever, clip it, toss it, you're not going to lose it. I wish they'd make it blaze orange like that, but wish they'd make it blaze orange so you don't lose it. But I guess if you lose it, you can buy another, so blue works. Keep an extra strand of fluorocarbon. I typically, this is for my leader lines, I typically go back and forth between 10 pound and 12 pound. I've been fishing a lot of 12. Want to go back to 10 pound. Really, if I'm in a creek chasing smallmouth, going 10. If I'm fishing ponds with a very big largemouth, I will usually upsize to 12. So I keep that in there. Keep some fish glue for applying to knots sometimes. I don't always. One little tip I found is just put a rubber band on this and it helps keep it. So I've got an assortment of worm weights. Never use the big ones. Honestly, I'd probably be better off just to downsize. On a side note, I've started using tungsten jig heads and love the sensitivity. I would probably be better off just to get a small thing of these for very small tungsten weights for whenever I fix this rig. And then if I'm up north or fishing someplace with a lot of pike, I have a couple of leaders, but don't really throw those down here in the south. In this pocket, wacky rig tool. Picked it up somewhere. They had it on a clearance bin. Never use it. Stringer. I am almost always a catch and release guy, but I've got one place I have access to where the stipulation is you catch a bass, you gotta keep it because the guy wants to make it a catfish pond. So there's that. Extra set of batteries. Again, Don't want to catch that PB and have your scale die and not be able to flex on your friends. There we go. That's working. So extra set of batteries. I use lithiums just in case. Extra pair of skizzers. And then this is the other piece of that Berkley scale kit, where if you're big into length, I'm not as big into length as a lot of the interwebs. I typically just go by weight. And that's what I carry in there. So middle pocket, this is what I was talking about, where this came with 2 tackle boxes. I upgraded to one of these. What made me upgrade to this was how much I liked how sturdy this was, but I'll get into that here in a minute. But this is pretty much what I throw. So this is pretty much what I take with me. This is it. So I've got a small fortune in chatterbaits. Started using chatterbaits in the last year or so, and I'm absolutely obsessed. So these are jackhammers up here. Here's a 1/2 ounce. Most of them I think are probably 3/8. I don't fish a lot of big water. And then I wanted to try some chatterbaits with a smaller profile. So over here I've got some smaller thunder crickets and some mini maxes. I tried some of the chatterbait minis and they floated to the top, so I don't know what the deal is with that, but those didn't work out for me. I'm going to try some thunder crickets and mini maxes. Then I got a little pack of bitsy bugs. The one lure the internet seems to love, well, of a couple, that people just talk about being fish catching machines, I've never really had a whole bunch of luck on. But I got some green pumpkin, got some black and blue, and I think I'm going to change up the trailers I use for those. I typically throw them on a, usually a Yum Pack-A-Chunk, and just haven't had a whole heck of a lot of luck. So I'm going to try some of the Strike King, maybe mini rage bugs, rodents, things like that, and see if I get any better luck. The lure I have been absolutely tearing it up with as of late is this guy right here. When I was a kid, I used to catch live crawfish and would use those, hook them right through the tail with just like a worm hook. Didn't even know what size, what otter, whatever, just whatever I had that my dad would give me. And I used to just tear them up on live crawfish. These Nico craws right here are the next best thing that I found. So this color right here is Eclipse. It's buoyant, of course, stretchy. I think we've probably all seen the videos on the Nico stuff. They last for forever. I don't know if I've had a fish tear one up yet, and I've caught some good ones on it. So I've got the Eclipse color, and I can't remember if this is the mud bug color or what they call this, but got it in 2 colors. I typically throw it on a tungsten jig head because I love feeling that bottom contact. And this is just a Walmart rugby jig head. I'm going to try these out as a cheaper option for some ponds that I fish, where it's pretty much just mud and there's not a whole lot of structure to fill, so I might use those as a cheaper option. All right, this is a secret that I'm about to let out. I haven't really seen any videos about these guys right here. And you're saying, what are you talking about? There's a tons of videos on poppers. Yeah, but not a ton on this one. So this is the Booyah Boss Pop. And I went on a smallmouth fishing guide, and the guide picked me onto these. And I don't know what it is, but you can cast them a country mile, and the fish just stay pinned. Your hookup ratio is awesome. I mean, check out the teeth marks on that. I don't know if the GoPro's gonna pick it up, but look at how worn out this one is. And I don't know, just really good action, really seem to draw on the fish. When fish are over beds, it really seems like these poppers, just popping it over smallmouth beds is the way to go. Keep a Whopper Plopper 75 in there. Never had a lot of luck or liked the action with the smaller sizes. I like the 75 the most of the Whopper Ploppers. Probably don't like the Whopper Plopper as much as the rest of the internet, but I'm changing my topwater setup, and maybe it'll make me like it a little bit more. And then this is something I haven't thrown, but I love watching Indie Yak Angler and love his videos with the Super Spook, and he uses the saltwater one with the Mustad triple grip hooks. So I got one, want to try it out. It's never been tied on a rod yet. So those are pretty much the hard baits that I throw. And I keep this guy, I guess that's Flambeau is the brand, same as this. And this is what I keep in here as well, because this is mostly what I throw. I haven't thrown any tubes, have a couple pre-rigged that I want to try. I think those might be Strike King, but never really tried a tube. Want to try it some this year. But this really holds all the hooks that I need. So here I've got stuff, you know, some tube heads, some Bullet Z, some worm hooks. These, if I'm throwing a Helgramite, I've got some of those finesse Bullet Z hooks. Jig heads for the Nico Crawl. I have had a hard time untying from the Nico Crawl lately. Don't know anything about Nico. Not a fanboy or loyal to any one brand. Just a lure that I've really worked, that I've used that's really worked lately. Ned rig heads. The Ned rig, to me, what was a game changer for throwing the Ned rig was this hook right here. So this is the EWG Z-Man hook, the little Ned locks. And I thought I had one pre-rigged in this box, but maybe I've tied it on or tied it somewhere else. But hooks on there, you can make it weedless. You don't get hung up. And I have not had an issue with hookup ratio with those. And then wacky rig hooks, I just have an assortment of regular and weedless or less weedy type things. So in the same pocket, got a couple of odds and ends. So here are some tubes, a pack of trailers that is probably 15 years old as well. I think there's one left in there. A couple of Helgramites, obsidian, and I think they call that color mudbug. So that might be the same color as this, so that might be the mudbug color. But some Helgramites. I haven't used them as much as I'd like to. I've used them some. I've caught fish. Another bait I've never tried that I wanted to is the Kitech. So I got some 3-inch ones for when the bite is super, super tough. Want to try some 3-inch ones, and these are in electric shad. I've had really good luck with electric shad in some of the waters that I fish. These are jig heads that I got to throw the Kitech on. Don't have a clue what should work, but I had smallmouth in mind, so I got chartreuse. A couple of extra Ned rigs. These are the Ned single floaters. So I use a lot of the Z-Man stuff, but came across these. They're a little bit bigger than the Z-Man ones, so I wanted to try those out. And this is just a random pack that I got from I don't know what. And that is the middle compartment. And finally, what I carry back here is soft plastic. So I'm always changing these out. Like I said, I've gotten obsessed with throwing the chatterbaits. So I've got a couple of trailers, whether 3-inch or 4-inch. The trailer I've had the best luck with is the Zako. So green pumpkin, what is this one called? Green pumpkin, black white, smallmouth magic. Marketing got me on that one. Love smallmouth. But I had some more trailers here. Came across these. I've never seen this brand. I got the impression this was more of a saltwater brand. But I would have to think with a white and chartreuse chatterbait, vibrating jig, whatever you want to call it, that might pair it pretty well. So I want to try those. These right here are the two baits that I have broken my PB on back to back. Is either, so it's the Finesse TRD and the TRD Ticklers, or Tickler Z. So this one in green pumpkin, and this in the PB&J color, money. I probably have as much confidence in these two things right here, the Nico Crawl, and one more that I'll get to in a minute that everyone's probably fished, as anything else. And really these two. I don't know, this is where you probably call BS. I don't know if I've ever had a day throwing a Ned rig where I didn't at least get a bite or didn't at least land one fish. I mean, it's just, I started fishing the Ned rig in the last couple of years. I used to throw a lot more cranking type stuff and power fishing, and I've really transitioned over to soft plastics, more finesse type stuff. Haven't tried this color yet, can't speak to it. It's called Mud Minnow, but it looks good. The wacky rig. So I've had one of my best days that I've ever had fishing. I had a cheap little rod that I got from Walmart that I got as a loaner for a friend who I was going to take fishing to borrow. So I just took it down to a pond and tried it out. And I don't have them with me, but I was throwing the KVD Ochos and probably would have had like a 5-fish bag of easily 25 plus pounds. That's largemouth from a pond. I was in a money spot, just back-to-back cast, and pulling giants out of the exact same spot. And I don't even think I had that cheap rod rigged up with fluorocarbon. I think I was still on a wacky rig on mono, and just absolutely crushed it. It's just one of those, I don't know, magic times where I guess I probably could have thrown anything, but went to go try that out, and super cheap setup. It was like a Lose Infinity, the green combos you get from Walmart, and KVD Ochos, and just absolutely slayed it. So I've also had good luck with the Gary Yamamoto Senkos, and I don't know if I actually have any in here right now, but I've had really good luck with the Gary Yamamoto Senkos. I've heard these Bass Pro Stickos are very similar. I got some 4-inch ones to try with smallmouth, but haven't used them, so I can't say. Saw these on a clearance rack at my local Walmart and thought, hey, that looks good. And then I watched a bunch of videos and people say the action sucks, so who knows? They're paid for. So we'll try them out. And then these are, I want to kind of get into fishing some of these on casting setup. So these are the KVD rodents. And then of course, it's cold right now. If I go fishing, thinking about throwing this big monster plum worm. Never really fished these, but I picked them up at some point with intentions to use them, and so probably need to use them at some point. But that's pretty much what I'm fishing. Is there anything else in the pack? Oh, I got one of these guys from my local TSC for next to nothing. Thought it was pretty cool. I have used it once on a catfish that I pulled out on the Nico crawl. I've caught a couple of, I think it was these guys, if I remember. Maybe if I have a picture, I'll roll that in. But I think it was a couple of these guys that I've caught on those Nico crawls. So pretty cool stuff. Like this, it goes in there, floats down, takes next to nothing if you're exploring new waters or happen to catch something you didn't know was in a pond. Really cool thing to have. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I'll touch into the rods that I pretty much throw. Of course, they all fell down. So the rod that kind of got me hooked into fishing was this guy right here. This is a Shimano SLX. It's a medium, extra fast. Looks like I was probably throwing a wacky rig on it the last time I used it, but medium, extra fast. I watched a couple of YouTube videos on the best spinning reel under $100, and a lot of signs pointed me to this Revo X that you pick up from Walmart. I'm not one of those just as good type guys, or that, you know, I'm a big believer in buy once, cry once, and having something nice. But I got this SLX on sale at Academy, and it seemed like it was like 40 bucks off, 30 or 40 bucks off on their $100 rod. So I got a pretty good deal on that. And then I came across one of these Revo X's after watching some videos on them. And I love this reel. It is, I got it on sale at Walmart. I think it's usually like 100, 110. I think I found this for like 90. I don't know if they still make this 30 size. I was looking the other day because I was going to get one as a gift for somebody, and couldn't find any 30 sizes. So I don't know if they even still make this, but love this reel. The drag is good. It's got good power. I have caught my PB on this SLX rod, or caught and broken my PB a couple times. I have pretty much moved into primarily though using this, so I'm just going to throw these down here. I'll pick them up later. But this is pretty much the rod that I'm using these days primarily. It is a St. Croix Victory. So 6'8", medium power, extra fast action. Stupid sensitive. Really like it. Just feels really good in the hand. I was shocked. This is the first rod I had in this price point. I didn't buy it. It was a gift. I was trying to decide between this and a Zodius, but first rod I've ever had in this price point, and I was shocked at how lightweight it is, and just how much I like it and how sensitive. The reel on it is a Shimano Mirabelle 2500. I like this reel. What I've tried to decide with this reel is I have spent a lot of time, I think it's called the Nasi, the $100 reel. And while this reel, yeah, it's only like 30 bucks more, I think. I don't know if I would just go with that and call it good, but I like it. No regrets on either of these. Now that I decided to randomly cast this in the yard while I was rambling. Got crap all over my Nico crawl, but maybe it'll make him look more natural. So awesome rod, really like it, would recommend to a friend. This is a 6/8. I went a little shorter because I fish a lot of ponds and creeks, and there's overhanging structure that I'm often trying to avoid. So real quick on rods, this is the first casting rod that I ever got. And again, I think I picked this one up from Academy. They had them on sale after that spinning rod that I like so much. And it's a 7-foot medium heavy. And then my first experience with casting rods, I was not a fan. So I always heard everyone say, even if you reel with your left hand with a spinning rod, get a right hand for casting. And I thought, why? That doesn't make any sense. Could never find anything. So I had a cheap Abu Garcia combo that died in my arms one day fishing after not being fished very much. But I decided, okay, I'll give casting setups one last try, and picked up this SLX, and absolutely love it. Did a little bit of YouTube research, and came across these SLXs as just really good bang for the buck values. And this reel did not come on it because I wanted to try left-handed. I've noticed a ton of places only carry right-handed casting reels, so I ordered this from somewhere, and they said, hey, this is our display model, we'll knock 20 bucks off or something like that. I was like, all right, cool. So, and then they called me back and like, hey, we don't have the original box came in, so we'll ship it in a random box and we'll take off another 20 bucks. So I got a pretty good deal on both of these, so pretty cheap combo. So got the rods on sale, and got the reel on sale. And in fact, that's a theme that you'll notice. A lot of these I didn't just go out and buy. I think the Mirabelle, I gotta think here. I think the Mirabelle is the only one I paid full price for because I wanted a nice reel for that victory when I got it as a birthday present. But the rest, I just waited till I came across a deal. So that's that. All right, so since then, I have gotten addicted to casting rods. So, was on vacation and came across this rascal. This is my favorite current rod. This is the Daiwa Tatula XT 7-foot medium. I envisioned for this being a topwater rod. So I was up in Michigan, and there was some place that had one of these on the shelf. They seemed like they had all like fly fishing type stuff. So they had this rod on the shelf, and they said, yeah, that bass stuff just doesn't move here, and they had it on sale. And I wasn't even looking for a rod. In fact, I wanted a shorter casting rod, and I was like, well, what's the price on it? I'm like, it's, we're just trying to move it. It's the last one. That kind of stuff doesn't sell here. They had it for like 60 or 70 bucks. Went out to the truck, was about to leave, was thinking about it, and I was like, isn't the Tatula like $100 rod? Did a quick little search. Yeah, that is a $100 rod. Picked it up, threw the other reel on it. Have used it a lot. Really, really, really like it. And haven't used this reel yet. I just got this reel on sale. Haven't fished with the reel yet. It's one of the Tatula, Daiwa Tatula. I think it's the 100. It's either 100 or 150. I think it's the 100. And feels really good in the hand. I spooled it up with some 20-pound braid for throwing top water. I don't fish a whopper plopper a whole heck of a lot. I usually prefer those Booyah Boss pops. Just have had a ton of luck. And I feel like for covering water, sure, you can go whopper plopper. But if you know where the fish are at, I love the popper. I love the hookup ratio. I just have a lot more confidence in it than a whopper plopper. But I'm going to try this setup for throwing top water. A couple of things I've noticed I like and I don't like about this reel. First of all, I love that it looks sexy. But it was really hard to adjust. And I think I remember them talking about in a lot of their marketing, it's like perfectly set from the factory, yada, yada, yada. Bologna sandwich. That was not my experience. But now that I have it set, it's pretty good. So I've not taken a cast with it yet, but I've got it where I can drop it and it doesn't bird nest. So I'm going to take it out at some point and try to catch some fish on it, but a little cold right now for top water. So that is that rod. Excited to try this. I've definitely added a lot more rods and reels to my arsenal in the last 6 months than what I have used in a long time. So last rod, bear with me. I don't have a reel for it yet, but speaking of deals, behold, this is a Shimano Corrado, and as I've really come to like the casting rods, and I popped into some hole-in-the-wall place visiting a family member who wasn't doing so great, and one day when I was killing time, and they had a 50% off rack. And this place said they had a dealer with a lot of stuff, or one of their distributors had another shop closing down, and they said they typically don't carry Corrados. They usually carry Zodius and up where they were at. So they had a couple Corrados, a couple of Victories, and some other stuff, amongst other stuff, 50% off. And I thought, okay, not gonna find a better, I envision this being like a big creek / small river smallmouth rod. Don't have a reel for it. I'll wait until I can see if I can find a Corrado casting reel to pair up with it. I'm thinking maybe a 7-speed, but I'm gonna wait and see if I can find one on sale. I'm in no hurry, but picked this up 50%. Had to pay the shipping to get them to ship it to me because I flew in. But for 50% off on a Shimano Corrado, I couldn't say no to that. My understanding, and this might be wrong, I saw it on the internet, so I have to take it with a grain of salt, but my understanding, so one, after fishing the SLX rods, as much as I like them, you know, the higher end Shimano, I thought I would only like more. But my understanding is that these are the same blanks as Zodius, or maybe the older Zodius model, and it's just branded in the Corrado line. So this is a 610 medium, and it doesn't say what action the tip is, but when I push it down, that looks like it's probably fast or extra fast. I mean, and it feels pretty stiff. So for the type of stuff that I like to fish, I thought this would be perfect. My vision for this is to spool it up with 12-pound fluoro and just be an all-around rod I can use primarily for wading big creeks, small rivers, and the occasional pond fishing as just kind of a general purpose rod. So 50% off, couldn't turn it down. But if you've got any recommendations or whatnot on the speed reel or which reel to put on it in general, let me know. But I'm excited to get this thing spooled up. Like you can see, it still has all the tags still on it, but still in timeout, still in the doghouse for buying it over allowance budget with the wife, but I think it's worth it. And if you can relate, hit that, smash that like button. Just kidding. I won't be that YouTuber. But anyways, that's it. That is what I take when I go bass fishing, and I've got a couple of extra rods and reels, as you can see. And let me know what you think.